Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome to another episode of Etiquette Tips with TG. For a couple of weeks, I've been discussing the silent language of love and how men and women communicate their interest in the opposite sex through their body language. After all, we have been told that 55% of what we communicate to others is not from the words that come out of our mouth, but through our bodies. Last week, I mentioned that there will be an interesting twist in the love series. So today we'll be talking about what love is. What does love mean actually? And I'll be dealing with it from a male and female perspective. Ladies and gentlemen, joining me on the vlog today is none other than my love, my darling husband, Obafemi George, aka OG. Please make him feel welcome. He won't be doing this very often. Thank you. So, babe, let's start with you. What does love mean to you? What is love? What is your definition of love?
Now, let me define love within the context of marriage, based on my personal experience with my wife. Now, to start with, for me, love, first of all, is spelled Service, service. Love is service. It's an action word. It's not just a feeling. If you love someone, if you love your woman, you'll be willing to serve her. Let me give you an experience. When we were courting, I was living at the other end of town. She was living in Ikoyi. Every Sunday morning, I would drive all the way from Ikeja. I would come to Ikoyi to pick her up, take her to church in Ikeja, bring her back to Ikoyi to drop her off, then I start going home back to Ikeja. In retrospect, I think now and I just look back, then I ask myself, what was I doing? That was madness. Yes, but I was in love. So ladies, if your man truly loves you, he will be willing to serve you. Secondly, I'm sure you've had this saying before, that you can give without loving, but you can't love without giving. Giving is another way through which a man shows that he truly loves his woman. You must be able to buy a gift. You don't look at the price tag. If you can afford it, you will buy it for her. Guess what? When we're out of town and I see a designer bag that I think this would look good on her, I don't even think twice. I just swipe my card. But I said, if you can afford it, don't break the bank to demonstrate your love. Okay, but if you truly love her, I kid you not, you'll be willing to do anything for her. Money will be a secondary issue. Thirdly, if you truly love your woman, if you're truly connected to your woman, there must be a chemistry. And based on that chemistry, there must be a rumble in your jungle. You know what that means? She must make you go, Like I said, I'm talking about this within the context of marriage. If you're not sexually attracted to your woman, there's a problem somewhere. You've got to find her very attractive. What do you think, babe?
Yes. Okay, I agree with everything he said, obviously. So acts of service, that's definitely my love language. Giving, I love gifts, and I'm happy that he loves giving gifts as well. And thirdly, oh yes, about the rumble in his jungle. And that's where I'd like to start from. So what does love mean to me from my perspective? When you love your man, you mustn't say no to him. And if you do say no, as sometimes we will do as ladies, you have to look for the earliest opportunity to make it up to him. Because when you say no to your man, you're more or less saying, I don't love you, babe. Am I correct?
On point.
So I find when I say no, I'm like, okay. And then particularly when I follow it with, oh, babe, I still love you.
For men, it's rejection. It's rejection.
He's like, yes, you don't love me. If you love me, you would say yes every time. And ladies, I don't know how we can say yes every time. So for the times we don't say yes, look for the earliest opportunity to make up for the last time. Secondly, touch. My husband's expression of love, how I express love to him, is through touch. Because when we were courting, he believes so much in PDA, public display of affection. I wasn't so much into that. But over the years, I've learned to get into that because I realized that that's an expression of love that he appreciates.
I love to touch.
So I find that sometimes unconsciously I just find myself touching his head, touching him, touching a part of his body, just touching generally. And for him, that is a way of expressing love to him. Thirdly, and I think this is really important. Watch, look at the video. So thirdly, and I think this is really important, love is also applying the golden rule of etiquette. What do I mean by that? The golden rule of etiquette is treating others the way you would like to be treated. When you love your spouse, you will treat them the way you would like to be treated. So he says, oh, there's a lady that is always asking me for a lift. What I typically say to him is, babe, flip it. If there's a guy that's always asking me for a lift, would you like it if I'm always giving that person a lift? That usually, that helps as some sort of check. I also find sometimes with messaging, when you're engaged in a casual text or casual WhatsApp message with a friend, sometimes you'd want to, and with some of your casual friends of the opposite sex, you might just want to send a hug, like friendly emoticon. I find sometimes there's a check. I would be like, oh, if my husband sent this to someone, and if my husband saw this on my phone, how would he feel? If I saw him chatting with someone like this, how would I feel? So sometimes that helps to give a check. So if you observe the golden rule of etiquette, in demonstrating your love for your spouse, I think that's also a very good way of expressing love as well. This list is by no means an exhaustive list, and it's not a one size fits all, but that's love the way we understand it, right? That's love actually the way we see it. So, ladies and gentlemen,
the way we've seen it for the past 11 years.
12, actually. The way we've seen it for the past 12.
Going to 12. 11 going on 12.
Yes. Until I come your way again, we look forward to your comments, your feedback. My email address and social media handle will come up on your screen shortly. Thank you very much for your attention. Do you have any last words for them?
Last word. Friendship, true friendship, is the foundation of an everlasting love. So fall in love with your friend so that even when you don't feel in love, because he or she is your good friend, guess what? That sustains you. All right? So please fall in love with your best friend. This is my best tool.
Bye.
Bye.